Welcome to Academic Research. Today I want to explain to you how to find a research topic. I know some of you are at school where research is a requirement, and maybe some are done with the school, but they still need to research. So this video is going to help you a lot. Remember, if we don't research, we perish. The first part of my presentation is on what to consider when choosing a research topic. So we have focus, feasibility, topical, utility, your interest, and availability of literature review. These are your considerations, and may you have them in full details now. On focus, I mean the focus of your area. You need to stick to your area of study. If you are in agriculture, if you are in education, if you are in history, this is the area of your specialization, and you need to research in these areas. For obvious reasons, you have more information in these areas than in other areas. As a result, you have a potential of having a useful research in these areas or in the area of your study. Then feasibility, by feasibility, I mean the possibility of you carrying out the study. Is it possible for you to carry out this study in terms of the economic demands? Because at times you realize that your study that you wanted to carry out demands a lot of money and so on, which you cannot afford. It's not necessary to carry out that study. And then you also need to consider the geographical area that you are going to cover. For instance, let's say you are using questionnaires, and then if you say you want to do a research for the whole country, you see such researches are funded by the government and many people are involved. So single-headed, you cannot manage such a research. Then you also need to consider the time which is available. If you are at school and you are doing research, at times it's allocated 1 year or 1.5 years. So make sure that your topic can be exhausted within that given time. Then you also need to consider the human assistance. Can you do the study on your own, or you need people to assist you? Is it easy for you to lure people in helping you, or it is difficult? All these considerations are necessary. Then the other thing which is very important is to consider your problem area. Is it relevant? Is it a topical issue? For instance, currently we are talking about the COVID-19. Obviously, if you study in this area, people can pay attention to such a study. People are attracted to that. So you need to consider to research on areas that are current. Then when you are carrying out a study, I know when I was a student at one time, I could say that as long as I can satisfy the needs of my course, I don't mind on the type of research that I'm going to do. That is, let me tell you, it's not a good spirit at all, Because remember, when you are at school, this is when you are laying the base of your future researches. So if you are not serious with your researches, then even in the future, it will be very difficult for you to be serious. As a result, my advice is you need to consider who will benefit from my study. It's not a study for the sake of a study, but some people somehow should benefit from your study. So I'm saying, if there is no one who will benefit from your study, stop it. You're wasting your time. Then the other thing to consider is your research interest. You know, a research, an academic research, it takes time. You do a lot of things and so on. As a result, you need to research in something that you are interested in, so that even when you are collecting your data, you are interested, and when you are analyzing it, this interest will give you hope and will give you all the energy to pursue the study. Then the other thing which is important is literature review. The reason being that when you are carrying out a study, you want to find out what other people have done in different geographical locations, what are their findings, how are you going to put your study as well. So this literature review is actually giving you a standard, a world standard, I can say, of the research that you wanted to carry out. So you need to Google to find out if you have related studies. Is the problem new? Yes, at times it can be new, but in most cases, some people have already researched in it, and then what have they said? This will help you a lot when you are also trying to find. Now, let's look at an example of a topic, and this topic is in education. It reads, validity of students' online assessments in Harare Metropolitan Universities, Zimbabwe. When we are looking at this topic, we now want to compare it with those aspects which I said we should consider when writing a topic, a research topic. Let me quickly run down them. The first one is focus, then feasibility, then topical, then utility, then your interest, and finally availability of literature. So when we are looking at this topic, it means that we have got the focus. Such topics can be done by people in education or who are interested in education. So it is a topic which is focused. It is focused in education. Hence, this topic is passing the first consideration. And then the second consideration is on the feasibility of the study. We are now looking at the researcher. Is the researcher able to carry out this study? Let's look at the geographical area. It's Harare, and then Harare, it's not the whole country, but it's one town. And we are looking, the topic is focusing on the universities in Harare, not elsewhere. And in Harare, there are 3 universities. That is the University of Zimbabwe. Then there is the Women's University in Africa. Then the Harare Institute of Technology. As a result, This study will be carried out in 3 universities. You see, it is very possible to carry out such a study. And when we are looking at the study and try to find out how much money is needed, you can see that it's manageable because it's simply an assessment which will be carried out, maybe using some questionnaires to students and maybe to lecturers and maybe some interviews, some of them which can even be done online. So the topic is also passing the second item. And then we come on to the topical. Is it topical? Is it relevant? Is it current? We are talking of assessment, online assessment, which makes it very topical because due to COVID-19, universities are teaching online and assessing online, and then validity is important as far as assessments are concerned. So you can see that on this aspect, the topic is also okay. And then we now look at the utility of the topic. Who will benefit from a topic? So in fact, let's consider the topic once more: validity of students online assessment. So you are looking at, is it valid? Right. You are also considering, is there any possibility of cheating on the, when considering the students when they are doing assignments, when they are doing tests, quizzes, examination online. So you can see if information is found, if the study is carried out well, then the lecturer will profoundly benefit from this study. And if there is anything that can be done to remedy the situation and make assessments authentic, then it can be done. Then of course we are talking of the interest of the researcher. I'm the one who have put forward this topic and I'm interested in the area, and I hope whoever will also engage in such a topic will be interested. Then the available of literature, the literature in fact to support the study. Yes, it is there, especially on the internet. So in other words, we can say such a topic is a good topic, and then a student can use it or researchers can use it. I am sure you've gained something from the example that I've given, and you can apply the same concepts to your study areas and come up with good topics, researchable topics in your studies. Thank you for your time.